Well, welcome back to Let's Play the Capo 2. It's been a while. Well, not when it comes to uploading, but recording. My room has since been rearranged, and I'm currently using the ceiling fan instead of my usual fan to kind of keep me cool, because this room is like a freaking furnace without any fan on, you know? So I don't know how the sound of that will pick up, because usually with the fan that I usually have on just like has a faint kind of sound to it that can be heard when there's pretty much no in-game sound or anything like that. But anyway, let's begin Yume's route. Silently, I didn't give a shit. Or did I? Yeah, that fan is really loud. I wonder how much of it will actually pick up. Straight to intro, match third party content. Wow, 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 wow. Is that snow? Is it cherry petals or is it dandruff? Probably dandruff. It's logical, right? What is there to say, really? I wonder, because I'm not sure how Sakura's route works. It just states that once you play all routes, it's automatic or something. So I'm not sure exactly what that means. If it means like start the null route and it immediately goes into it or what, I have no idea. Or if it comes right after the ending, which would be pretty awkward recording wise, I would have to say. But I don't know what it'll be. Also gotta remember to have the glare counter. Most important. If this is supposed to be cherry blossoms or snow, it could be either one, really. Merry Christmas. For how many times we've seen that now? The bright sunshine on my eyelids set my optic nerve elate.
おはよう、弟くん。朝だよ。兄さん、朝ですよ。
Sweet and sweet voices and soft sensations, breath faintly touching my skin.
ほら、起きないと大変だよ。
What's this lovely wake-up call? I stretch my arm to turn off the alarm. Squish! I touch a strangely soft switch. What is that sensation from?
もう兄さん、寝ぼけてないでちゃんと起きてよ。
I felt my cheek being pinched. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt, but it made my mind start clearing up. I slowly opened my eyes. Then I saw Otne and Yume peering at my face up close. What are you doing?
何してるって。ねえ。先に目が覚めたから、兄さんの寝顔を見つめてたんだ。そうだよ。弟くんの寝顔って、可愛いよね。
What a pair, they are sisters after all. You know, for some reason I just imagine them pranking him and not even informing him about it, just like, so yeah, while you were sleeping, you know, you have your eyes closed. People generally have their eyes closed, you know, usually when sleeping. Some people don't, which is kind of creepy, but whatever, you know. So we decided to draw eyes on your eyelids, so we're not even going to mention it. Well, nobody can see your face anyway. Their marvelous smiles and sensual words almost made me smile. Oh no, well, I guess that too, but why are you sleeping here in the first place?
どうしてって、いつも一緒に寝てるじゃない。そうだよ。もう、弟くんのボケボケさん。
That's kind of a annoyed face, but it's not quite a glare. Or is it? I think I'll only count the glare face as the, for the glare count. She poked my cheek as she spoke.
ああ、お姉ちゃんばっかずるい。
Yume poked my older cheek trying to compete with her sister. Their soft fingertips poked my cheeks. The older sister poked mischievously, and the younger sister poked bashfully. What's with this situation? We always sleep together. Who does? 3 of us sleep together? As I became speechless, Yume puffed her cheeks in objection.
もう、いつまで寝ぼけてるのかな、兄さんは。本当に寝ぼすけさんなんだから。そうだね。寝ぼすけでいけない弟くんには、お仕置きが必要だよね。
Like, piss off! I am who I am! I can't not be a sleepyhead if I am a sleepyhead! You try being a sleepyhead and then try not to be a sleepyhead. It just doesn't work that way. Did I just share a Facebook notification? Let me check. Right, so my nephew apparently had snapped one of my acoustic guitar strings. That's kind of funny, really, because I just got new guitar strings today. Not for my acoustic, but for my electric. I haven't even got to putting them on yet. But what are the odds of something like that happening? As she spoke up and then closed her eyes. She slowly brought her face closer to mine.
あ、私もお仕置きする。
Yume closed her eyes too. Is this a dream? Yeah, it must be. How could this be happening for real? Well, who cares? There are 2 beautiful girls in front of me and our faces are so close we can feel each other's breath. And it stinks. Here, have refreshments. That's right, this is a dream. At that moment I became bold. I became invincible. No, I'm God. Since I know this is a dream, there's nothing to be afraid of. I think I've mentioned it before, but you ever have those type of dreams where you realize you're in the dream and you're just like, oh, it's a dream. I can control this shit. But for some reason, you realize this within the dream, but you just don't control it that way. You usually wake up a few seconds after that, seemingly. It's just like, oh, that's just great. Just like all that potential power, and it's gone instantly. You should never refuse a meal set before you while faithfully bite into this delicious situation. Okay, here I come.
本題に入ります。
My meal ended with a hard kiss. The sensation of something flat was on my lips.
皆さんもご存知の通り、来週の23日から25日までの3日間、我が校でクリスマスパーティーが開催されます。
Hang on, I'm just drinking a can now. Well, sorry, class president, but I don't give 2 shits. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do do do. A haunted house to be. I want a haunted house, I guess. That's how he said it. There was no significant meaning behind my decision. I had no intention of helping Tsunami, but I thought it would be an interesting concept to host a haunted house in the middle of winter. You know, seeing as we've had puppet shows for the past 2 or 3 routes. Sighs and joyous roars filled the classroom. Forgot the mouse was here there. However, they started complaining about the haunted house immediately.
残念ね。仕方ないわね。
Well, come on, you had the damn thing 3 times.
それでは、我がクラスのクリスマスパーティーの出し物はお化け屋敷とします。準備期間があまりないですが、皆さん頑張っていきましょう。
Thus, we decide to host a haunted house for our last bid at the affiliated academy. Well, it might actually be the final one that they do for the academy, because I don't know how Sakura's route actually works. Like, it could take place without going through the common route, so it may very well be the final one. I left the classroom as soon as Henry mended and said, skip this. Wait, no. This is the one. Oh, goddamn it, I gotta wait for it to go around now. This is the one I think that I figured out how to play with. The guitar bit. Here it comes. Nope. I think that was that key change there. Get back to the main melody, man. This is the one I used to figure out the melody, but I didn't figure the whole thing out. I'll just kind of improvise then. Yes, definitely switch key. Here it comes. Something like that. But yeah, that bit's at least, I think, E major. Oh wait, we're still skipping, aren't we? Yes. Welcome to the cave. Now get the fuck out. Be-do-wee. Halt! Sorry, I kind of skipped a bit into the scene there, Yume, but well, shit happens. Yeah, are you meeting with someone?
Yeah,
I see, okay, see you tomorrow then. I gave her a refreshing smile, said goodbye, and walked past Yume. Yeah, my collar was grabbed from behind. My body was forced to turn around. She was smiling. It was a scary smile. What's that look for, ma'am? I couldn't help but speak politely. My voice cracked at the end. Huh? And none of that's my fault. You know, you could say that most of her expressions are somewhat of a glare, but they're mostly just a kind of, oh, for crying out loud, Yoshiki, stop being such an idiot, it's your fault. How is it my fault? Because it is. Rather than just like, are you fucking serious? This is a glare right at you for being that, just how are you even this dense kind of face. That's the one we're going for when it comes to the glare counter. I didn't ask you to wait for me, did I? You just want my money, don't you? Why are you stressing the sister part? A cute little sister, huh? I'm not saying Yume isn't cute. Even if I wasn't her family, she would be in the cute girl category. According to rumor, there's a secret fan club for her, and besides, she is Otne's younger sister after all. There seems to be a fan club for everyone, really. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a Tsukunami fan club out there somewhere. Like, in-game here. There probably is definitely gotta be one in real life. But her personalities...
今とても失礼なこと考えませんでした？
Of course not, ma'am. I answered immediately. Just so you know, your true colors are showing. You may falter just a little.
大丈夫だよ。周りに誰もいないし。
She looked around.
それより兄さん、お腹すいた。
She spoke sweetly. Her voice could melt anybody with a thing for little sisters. Her voice was such a sweet temptation anyone would give in. However, I wouldn't. Nowadays, an older brother's job isn't to spoil his younger sister, but instead to be firm with her. The era of spoiling sisters has ended. So I spoke with firm relation. I am terribly sorry, but I, Sakura Yoshiki, I am working on being a firm Japanese citizen who can say no when I need to.
に、い、さん、食べさせて。
What would you like to eat today? It was a quick attack. It was a total defeat. I hated myself for my weak will.
クレープ。桜公園のクレープ屋さんに新しいメニューが出たんだって。ほら、早く行こう。
Crepe, 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 crepe. Okay, remember that now, because I always freaking forget the pronunciation for that. You know, I actually thought it was French for quite some time, but I remember seeing it in a dictionary a while back, and I can't even remember its origin, but it wasn't French. She turned around and started walking without waiting for my reply. I guess this is how a girl with a patron behaves. I should have known.
ほら、早く来ないと置いてっちゃうぞ。
Yume turned around ahead of me. That's fine with me.
あ、そうやって逃げるつもりなんでしょう。
Yume turned around and walked back to me with a pout and then grabbed my hand. I felt her soft hand.
もう行儀は悪いんだから。ほら、行くよ。
She pulled me behind her. I won't run.
兄さんの言葉は信じられません。
Don't you believe your own brother? I'm so sad.
そういう態度が信じられないんだよ。
She looked the other way. Besides, if someone saw us like this, they would think we were in love.
ほら、早く行くよ。とっとと歩く。
You may have more lines of trying to drink a can of Pepsi here. She held my hand even tighter. Her hand felt so warm in the cold winter air. Then she dragged me along and forced me to go with her.
おいしい。
Yume wore an expression of bliss beside me. Just watching her being happy made me feel content. As if! Don't eat too much, you won't be able to eat dinner.
大丈夫。甘いものは別腹だから。
You'll get fat.
それも大丈夫。私太らない体質だし。
Unless, you know, some random artist is just like, you know what? Screw you, Yume, I'm gonna draw a fat version of you, but I don't think I have seen a fat version of Yume. But, you know, there are characters that are portrayed as skinny that some artists are just like, you know what, this character could use obesity. Like, not just like kind of average weight or anything like between it all. No, they've gotta look like a giant blob. They've gotta look like, what's his name? What's his name? Can't remember his name. You know, the fat blobby guy from the Star Wars series. Don't underestimate the power of calories. A body that never gets fat is merely an illusion of the common people. The moment you let your guard down, you'll come to regret it.
いや、実績ありますから。
Well, I think it's kind of like some people just don't get fat very easily, and then it gets to a certain point in life where that suddenly just goes, and it's like, why have my skills of spreading fat out have to do anything going on? If those women who were having a hard time trying to lose weight heard her, she would be in big trouble.
兄さんは何も食べないの？
What, how do you want me to eat? I held up my hands. Of course there was nothing in my hands. On the other hand, Yume had a crepe in each hand. Fresh raspberry crepe. Strawberry ice cream crepe. Both of them were financed by my wallet. Both of them were being consumed by Yume. This is a prime example of how irrational the world is. All I had for lunch was egg soba bread. A certain someone somewhere is eating my share.
そっか。それは残念だね。でもじゃんけんに負けたんだから自業自得だね。負け犬だもんね。
She smiled at me. Damn, I couldn't say anything. Like a howling dog, I looked up to the sky. It was winter and the sun went down early. It was already getting dark. The wind felt even colder. My wallet was feeling sadly empty as well.
もうしょうがないな。はい。
It's just like, oh, what am I gonna do with you, man? You're making me feel guilty because, well, I should feel a bit guilty, you know, just kind of being a bit of an asshole here. A sweet smell reached my nose.
じゃんけんの弱い兄さんにも一口あげるよ。
I saw a half-eaten grip in front of my face. That's okay.
遠慮しない。
Compassion is not for the benefit of others.
いや、それ御用だから。
We'd be kissing indirectly.
兄弟なんだから変なこと意識しない。
Yeah. You may shove the half-eaten grip into my mouth. You know, I always say just like, what's the big deal with that? But I'm pretty picky when it comes to that. If someone's like drank something and they give me the can, the glass, bottle, whatever, I'll just be like, no. It doesn't matter who it is. It's just like, nope. Just like, but I only took a sip out of it. No. I'm not drinking from it. Get another glass or so and pour it in, and even then I'd still be a little fussy with it. I tasted the whipped cream sweetness in my mouth. The tangy raspberry sauce provided an accent against the sweetness.
ね、美味しいでしょ?
Yume looked into my face with satisfaction. Yeah, it's just tasty, but I have whipped cream all over around my face.
ラッキーだね。舐めると甘くて美味しいよ。
I stuck my tongue out and licked it. It tasted bitter like defeat. We walked slowly down the dim cherry blossom tree line in the street. We heard kids' voices here and there. I guess kids don't mind the cold winds when they play.
兄さんってほんとじゃんけん弱いよね。
What are you talking about, girl? I lost on purpose. I did it because I'm a good big brother.
へえ。じゃあ一定の法則でチョキ出すのってわざとやってるんだ。
Of course. That was news to me.
へえ、ほー、
What's that doubtful look for?
いや、私はてっきり気づいてないと思ってたから。
So he always fuses scissors? With me, when it comes to rock, paper, scissors, it's unpredictable because I don't have like a favored one. It could be rock, it could be paper, it could be scissors, it could be anyone. I just choose it at random. Of course I did. Come to think of it, I always lose with scissors. Damn it! I didn't know my own weakness.
じゃあ次からはわざと負けないでいいよ。
Then again, I think I've also had a habit of that in the Project Diva FLP, where you can actually interact with the Vocaloids. Whenever I'm playing rock, paper, scissors, I usually use scissors. It's because it's the quickest one. It's the middle one of the three, you know? Easy choice. But I do spice it up, you know? I don't always use it like that. Yume smiled at me provokingly. Don't regret saying that. I'll win! Our eyes met.
あれ?
Yume looked away.
確かこの景色。
She stopped and looked around. What's the matter?
ちょっと待って。
Yume went through her bag and took out a notebook. She flipped through the pages. What is it? Did you come up with an embarrassing poem or something?
そんなわけな。
Yume turned around. Hmm?
兄さん、危な。
Slurp out! I felt an impact on the back of my head. My neck bent forward in 90 degree. Instantly, I saw flashes.
ちょっと遅かったか。
Oh, come on, when's it ever on time where they're just like, watch out, and they've got plenty of time to, actually watch out? It's like you've got a split second, if that, to, react. I heard a ball bouncing behind me. I'm sorry. A kid ran up and collected the ball.
見事なヘディングだったね。
I don't know what's worse, though. Getting hit in the head with a football or getting hit in the balls with a football. I've been hit in the face with a football and hit in the balls with a football, and it hurts. It really does. I didn't know how to respond to that. Also, the gut is also pretty painful as well.
まるで後頭部に目がついてるのかと思ったくらい見事だったよ。
I still didn't know what to say.
ついでに大丈夫？
I guess my condition was no priority. I still felt dizzy. I rubbed to where the ball hit. I didn't feel a bump. I should be okay, I don't feel a bump either. I shook my head lightly.
本当に大丈夫？
Can you imagine if this played a very important role in the entire story? Just like, wow, that was interesting, but I doubt it. You may have felt the back of my head.
大丈夫そうだけど、一応後で冷やしておいた方がいいよ。
Yeah, maybe I should.
それじゃあ帰ろうか。
You may put the notebook back in her bag. You done?
何が？
Your poem, you usually jot down stuff, right?
してません。
Then what was that notebook for?
いや、内緒です。
Whatever, we'll get to find out about it in this route, I imagine. Although she said that, I was sure it was a book of poetry. Or maybe she was jotting down some embarrassing stuff like this or that.
なんか、兄さんからすごい嫌なオーラを感じるんだけど。
You're just imagining things.
なんか、
Ooh,
兄さんの
glare!
顔がすごいにやけてるんですけど。
Glare number one. It's your imagination. We headed home as we talked.
弟くん、見とって。
Here you are. The smell of something good wafted from the simmering pot.
もう一味かな。
Here's some soy sauce.
ありがとう。
But I add a little soy sauce to the pot to adjust the taste. She scooped a little sauce with a little to taste. Well? Voice acting?
はい、
Whatever.
弟くん、どうかな。
She brought the ladle close to my mouth.
あーん。
Don't say that. I took a sip of the broth. I tasted just the right amount of soy sauce and it mixed in the sauce. It tasted perfect. Yeah, this is great.
よし、完成。
But the way I turned the stove off and smiled.
魚の方はどう？
It looks great. I answered as I looked at the grill. I can imagine the fish, like, just being like, oh, I look great, do I? I look great like this? You bastards freaking just fish me up and freaking cook me and eat me. You bastards! But Dad and I were fixing dinner. This was nothing unusual for us. But the maid's house was next door, so she usually came over to my place and we'd fix up and eat dinner together. Spend some time together after dinner and then she'd go home. Since I moved to the Yoshida residence half a year ago, this has been happening almost every day. I didn't mind it at all. Hey, Yume, get some plates ready. There was one more. I told Yume, who was probably relaxing in the living room. She replied lazily.
ゆめちゃん。いや、冗談ですってば。
Yume sluggishly dragged herself to the kitchen. She was wearing a jersey shirt and glasses, aka a totally relaxed wardrobe. She looked so different from when she was at school.
いや、それにしてもお二人さん、お似合いだね。まさに新婚さんって感じですか？新婚さん？何言ってるのよ、ゆめちゃん。やだな。
Otane fumbled with the edge of her apron while standing next to me. Why is she being bashful?
妹としましては、仲の良いお二人の至福の時間を邪魔してしまうのはいかがなものかと、ちょっと考えてしまうわけでして。
Okay, that's enough. Get some plates ready.
はーい。兄さんはノリ悪いな。
Dinner was served on the plates you may put out. Cooked potatoes, grilled salmon, steamed rice, and miso soup.
そんな、新婚さんだなんて。
Otane was still off in her own world.
それで、弟くんのクラスでは何するの？
We're doing a haunted house.
お化け屋敷ね。なんかそれっぽいね。確か弟くんのクラスって、兄さん、杉並さん、板橋さんの3バカ勢ぞろいだね。お化けでしょ？暗闇でしょ？そして3バカでしょ？
What is wrong with these sisters? They keep saying the Three Stooges in front of me like I'm not there. By the way, don't put me in the same category as them. I'm too dense for that.
でもねえ。
They looked at each other and nodded. Objection!
いや、却下。そうだね。実績があるからね。悪い意味で。ってことで、エッチなのはダメだからね。
She put her face up close to mine. What is she saying? She's a student council president. How can we do anything sexual at an academy event?
だって弟くんだもん。
What does that supposed to mean? What do you mean, what was that supposed to mean?
そうだね。兄さんだしね。
Let her free. Don't agree with her.
暗闇だし、ちょっと心配だよ。生徒会長さんとしては、しっかりと監視しないと。
How can you when it's too dark to see? They didn't trust me at all. Well, Otne was right in her suspicions because the things she was worried about were close to what Tsuganami and Wataru were planning. I have a feeling Tsuganami's planning something more, though.
まあ、でもお姉ちゃん的には助かるんじゃない？要注意人物が一箇所に集まってくれるんだもん。監視が楽じゃない？そうだね。戦力を一箇所に集中できるのは大きいね。
A counter me planning meeting continued before me, but I don't remember doing anything that infamous though. Actually, there had been one time when I caused a huge problem.
基本的に杉並君にはあゆきがマンツーマンディフェンスだから。ってことはやっぱり兄さんだよね、問題は。
I continued to eat the rest of my dinner while feeling dissatisfied about the whole thing. You know, how are we for time? It's obviously not been that long, but still. Because you see, the thing is, I've just remembered that I've got like this clippo to the side here, and it's it could potentially melt. I mean, I can see ice literally just like sticking to the bed now, well, the duvet and all that. So yeah, I should probably wrap this up soon, you know. Maybe do some more recording later, or maybe tomorrow, I don't know. I stretched as I laid in my bed. When I looked at the clock, I realized it was already late. Maybe I should go to sleep. Just as I clicked the door, blah blah knock knock, I heard a door knock on the door, come in, blah 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 blah. Wait. Oh no, it doesn't go to that point yet, does it? You know, before I end this part, I'm just gonna play something random that I came across a while back. If you've played Ocarina of Time, you might recognize it. If you do recognize it, then it pretty much means that I was right in thinking what it is, because it goes... That is the Forest Temple, isn't it? I don't know how the heck I managed to come across these type of stuff. I just kind of improvise and I just randomly stumble across various different soundtracks. It's almost always soundtracks. They work up pretty well. And that was well, so that'll conclude this part because, you know, don't want this damn thing to melt here. So anyway, I'll see you next time, viewers, for when we actually proceed a bit further into this whole thing, you know. We'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.